Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Tech Guru. Please click on the like, share and subscribe button. Hello friends, welcome to session 7. In this session we are going to study about loops and iterations in Python. Friends, first of all we have to understand the meaning and need of loops. Consider you want to display a message on the screen. For this you can use print statement, or if you have to perform a particular task then you can write some statements for it. But if you have to perform that particular task multiple times, 10 times, then what will you do? Will you write the same statements 10 times? If you want to display this hello message on the screen 10 times, do you write this print hello message 10 times? No, it is not advisable. For this purpose, we use loops or iterations. Friends, take an example that you want to print a particular document 10 times. It means you have to create the 10 copies of a document. Will you give the print command 10 times? No. We give the print command just once, but we will tell the number of copies are 10. The software that is working for printing will automatically start the printing from 1 and it will keep on printing the documents 10 times, then it will stop automatically. So this is the perfect example of loops or iterations. So it means a loop statement allows to execute a statement or group of statements multiple times. It means loop gives us permission that we can execute multiple statements several times. No need to write the same statement again and again. Alright. And friends, in loop there are 3 important points that we have to take care of. Number 1, loop starts with initialization. Number 2, loop works with the help of increment and decrement. It is called step. And number 3 means termination. It means stop. In the printer example, we said that we want 10 copies of the document, but the printer starts with 1. First of all, it will print the first page. That is the starting point. In each process, first time the printer will print first page, then it will print second page, then it will print third page. It means it is gradually completing its task, but at once it is printing only one page. This is increment or decrement. The printing will automatically stop when count reach to 10. That is the termination. It means when we work with loops, we have to start from somewhere, that is initialization. We have to stop somewhere, that is termination. And moving from starting to ending, we move step by step. And these steps are called increment or decrement. Now let's see loops in Python. Friends, the first loop is while loop. So like any other loop, while is also having 3 important points: initialization, termination, increment and decrement. Let's understand the code. X equal to 1, it means I am starting with 1. The loop will terminate when x is not equal to less than 6. The task I am performing multiple times is I am printing the value of x and then I am incrementing x by 1. This is my step. So this is the program to print 1 to 5 counting. Let's see its execution. At first x is 1. In second step it will check whether 1 is less than 6. Yes, it is true. Then on the screen I will get the value of x. It means 1 will be the output. Then value of x will increment and become 2. Now x is 2. The cursor will move back here because it is a while loop. Then it will check whether 2 is less than 6. Yes, it is true. Then it will print the value of x. It means 2. Then x will become 3 and it will check whether 3 is less than 6. X is 3. Yes. So it will print the value of x. It means 3. Then x will become 4. 4 is less than 6. Yes, it will print 4. Then x will become 5. 5 is less than 6. Yes, then it will print the value of x again. It means 5. Then x will become 6. Now it will check whether 6 is less than 6. No. Now the condition will terminate. So friends, in this way it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Friends, in other programming languages also while has the same working. There is only one difference, that we use the curly braces to specify the scope of while. Now let's see its example. Friends, in Python shell I go to file, I click on new file to create a new file. Now I write x equal to 1 because I am initializing my loop from 1. Then I say while x is less than 6, it means my loop will run from 1 to less than 6. Friends, don't forget to put these colon mark after while, because when I put colon and I press enter, it is automatically starting the while block. What working I want to perform? I want to print the value of x. Then I have to increment the value of x. Then outside the loop, I am giving one simple print message. Thank you. Now save the file. After saving the file, run the file. Just see friends, I got the output. This loop executed 5 times, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I got this thank you message. Alright. Friends, consider now you want to accept 5 numbers from user and then you want to display them. So our count will be same because we have to start with 1 and we have to move till 5. But the coding inside the while loop will change. We have to accept the number. So I declare a variable n, and to accept its value I am using input function. Enter the number. Then I accepted the number in n, so I will display n instead of x. Let's save the file and run. Look, now the cursor is waiting for me so that I can enter a number. First time I specified 10. It displayed 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then I got thank you message. So friends, see here my loop executed 5 times. Initially x is 1, it displayed the message, enter the number, I accepted the number, store in n, then I display the number, then I increment my loop, and in the same way the loop executed 5 times and displayed the values. Friends, let's see it's one more example that we want to accept 5 numbers from user, we want to add them and then display their sum. So again start with x equal to 1 because for every loop I need a counter. I'm starting counter with 1. Then I have to specify the terminating condition. I am saying run the loop until x is less than 6. In the loop I have to accept the number. For accepting I am using the input function. Enter the number. Friends, after accepting the numbers I have to add them. For addition I can use a variable sum and then I can say sum equal to sum plus n. It means whatever the number is, it will be added to sum. But I have not specified any initial value of sum. So I declare sum equal to 0 to avoid any error. So initially my sum is 0, but whenever I accept any number from user, that number will be added to sum. Now I have to increment my loop. Outside the loop I am printing the result. Sum is like this. So friends, I hope it is clear to you, but this program will give an error. Do you know why? Because if you have watched my previous video, then you must know that whenever we accept any number from user with input function, the data type of the number is string. Alright, and here I want to add that number to sum, that is an integer. so it will give an error. If you have not watched my previous video, then you can watch that video. The link is given in the description box. Alright friends, so friends, whether I type 6, 7, any number in n that is integer, but still my Python will consider it in string form. But I have to perform some calculation, I have to add the numbers. So I have to convert this string number into integer. It means I have to typecast. And I told you in my previous video that for typecasting we use int function. So I am using one more variable here, num equal to int n. Alright friends, so whatever number the user enters, it will be converted to int and stored in num. So now I have to write sum equal to sum plus num. Now save the program, run the program. Look, it is saying enter the number. So I entered the first number as 3. Now I entered second number 2. I entered 5, 4, 2 again, and the sum is 16. Friends, let's see its execution. My first variable is x. Value of x starts with 1. Then I have declared a variable sum and I stored 0 in that. Then I run a loop while x is less than 6. Right now x is 1 and we know 1 is less than 6. So loop will start executing. Enter the number. User enters the number that will be stored in n. Then I convert that number to integer form and I store that number in num. So right now my num is 3. So I write here num. Value of num is 3 here. Then this 3 value will be added to sum. So the sum will become 0 plus 3. Then x equal to x plus 1. It means x will become 2. So friends, after executing this loop one time, this will be the condition. Now cursor will move back here. Value of x is 2. It will check whether 2 is less than 6. Yes, 2 is less than 6. So it will accept the second number from user. Now user entered the second number 2. That number will be converted to int and stored in num. Now this num, it means 2 will be added to sum. So the previous value of sum was 3. So now it will be 3 plus 2. It means now my sum is 5. Then x will be x plus 1. It means x will become 3. It will check the condition again. 3 is less than 6. Yes, it will accept the next number. Next number, user entered 5. 5 will be converted to integer and stored in num. So num is 5. Now here I am adding the value of num into sum. So the value of sum is 3 plus 2. It means 5 plus this 5. X will be x plus 1. It means x will become 4 now. It will check the condition. 4 is less than 6. Accept the next number. The next number entered by user is 4. Number will be converted to integer and stored in num. Num will be added to sum. So the value of sum is 10 here. So now the new value will be 10 plus 4. Then value of x will increment by 1. So x will become 5. Then it will run the loop one more time. 5 is less than 6. Accept the next number. Number is 2. 2 will be stored in n. It will be converted to integer, stored in num. Then num will be added to sum. And the sum will become 14 plus, the next number was 2. So 14 plus 2. Now x will become 6. 6 is less than 6. No. Finally the loop says no. False. Finally the condition says false. So loop will stop. Cursor will come here and it will display the sum is sum. Sum is, and the value of sum will be 14 plus 2, 16. And friends, this is the result that I am getting here. Alright friends, so I hope it is clear to you. So that is about while. In my next video we will learn about for loop. If you like my video, please click on the like, share and subscribe button. Thank you so much and keep watching.